Yeah, a rainy, a rainy Monday evening. A rainy Monday evening. All right, just hope it comes out clear for you. But I just want to do this video here. Let me start with this preset. Lamentations 4 verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So before we get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the Yakin worldwide that are sincere and serious in doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. To you all. Yes, I'm the brother, the disciple Koshab Banyamin from the branch here in the Great Millstone, Barbados. And just got a video here lined up, about 10 minutes long. Very informative video. Talks about the recent fires in the different processing plants that manufactures the food. And also how Bill Gates is the number one. He has bought almost all the land, all the farmland. So what I can do here, I can play the video. Baba Kosha is edifying. You may stop it in between and get some scriptures, huh?
Hey internet friends, here on this channel we've been cataloging the strange happenings of our world for some time. Within the span of the past year, one of the world's largest ships jammed up the Suez Canal for nearly a week. The Suez Canal being one of the world's most important trading routes. The price of fertilizers for crops have hit an all-time high. Bill Gates became the largest farmland owner in the United States. World leaders announced impending food shortages due to the war in Ukraine, with Russia and Ukraine making up more than 30% of the global wheat market, and they're considered the breadbasket of Europe, followed by reports of the bird flu in the United States over the past month, forcing farmers to kill millions of egg-laying poultry. All of these aforementioned incidents have driven up the price of items at your grocery store. But now we shift our focus to the most recent series of strange events contributing to this price hike and potential shortage. Wondering, is it all a coincidence or something more? In some ways, it's like the ship getting stuck in the Suez was just the start, just the beginning of all these recent supply chain issues. And really, it's only escalated from there. In the last 6 months, around 20 U.S. food processing facilities have burned down. I'm gonna lay them out on a timeline for you so we can look at the data and decide for ourselves if something is going on here or if there's really nothing to see, we can just move along. January 12th, 2021, Fayetteville, Illinois. The Deli Store Corporation, a processor of deli meat for military and commercial use, was destroyed by fire. No details on how the fire started. April 11th, 2021. A cooker at the plant caught the whole Tyson poultry plant on fire. It went up in flames. July 26th, 2021. Memphis, Tennessee. A 3-alarm fire breaks out at the Kellogg's cereal plant. Reports say fire started in the rice dryer. August 2nd, 2021, Huntsville, Alabama. Fire damages Tyson-owned feed ingredients plant. The poultry mill plant received significant damage in a fire that was said to be sparked by animal byproducts and grease. August 24th, 2021. Patax Meat Products in Cobb County, Georgia. A fire broke out at the factory, causing severe damage. I've actually been to the retail store many years ago. It's a community staple, but it was a total loss. September 13th, 2021, Grand Island, Nebraska. The headline reads, 5-alarm fire at JBS beef plant. The Grand Island Fire Department reported that the roof was on fire around 10 p.m. that night. October 20th, 2021, Tar Heel, North Carolina. A fire at the Smithfield Foods plant, allegedly started by an employee named Latasha Biddle, who set fire to the break area. Well, she came back in 2 days later with a hammer and vandalized cars, screaming about how she was going to burn down the plant and shoot the place up before fleeing. She eventually turned herself in on an unrelated charge. November 29th, 2021, Scotts Township, Pennsylvania. The headline reads, Fire erupts at a meat processing facility in Lackawanna County. No further details. December 13th, 2021, San Antonio, Texas. $100,000 of fire damage occurred to a food processing plant where a cooler had caught fire. So now we're getting into 2022, January 14th, LeCompte, Louisiana. A fire started at the Cargill Nutrina feed mill in Louisiana and burned for 12 hours. Reports of explosions seen and heard. January 31st, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. A fire tore through a fertilizer plant on the night of January 31st and continued into the next day, forcing thousands living near the plant to evacuate their homes and a university to cancel classes. Every household within a 1-mile radius was asked to evacuate because of the high chance of explosion. More than 6,500 residents were in the evacuation radius. All right, now here is where it gets interesting. If you look at the data...
Yeah, I just pause it there for a minute. No. This is going to affect Esau Edom as well, his own people. You got to understand, power is everything, and they want to maintain, the elites want to maintain that power. So there's something called collateral damage. So if their own people got to feel the squeeze so that they can keep power, and we got to remember the NWO agenda. Just look at the Georgia Guidestones, maintain humanity under 500,000. You understand? Or 500 million, can't remember, but this is their agenda, and they will go all out. So if it means some of their own people, then so be it. There's Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good. So if he's evil to his own people, you looking for sympathy from this man? You okay? All want to get a vote. When the vote with Trump 3 years ago, then the vote for Biden. It don't matter. You don't understand the agenda, the NWO agenda. We continue here.
Starting in February 2022, you're going to start to notice a trend of these fires occurring more and more frequently, which is why I wanted to lay all this out on a timeline anyway. On February 3rd, Mouston, Wisconsin. Wisconsin River Meats warehouse was engulfed in fire, the old portion of the building a total loss. No details on how the fire was started. February 16th, Claypool, Indiana. The LDC said that a fire had broken out at the largest U.S. soybean processing and biodiesel plant. The cause of the fire was cited as undetermined. February 20th.
2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Like I said, the agenda is the NWO agenda. So if they gotta do certain things like this, they will do it. His soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5.
Second, Hermiston, Oregon. A major explosion at a potato chip factory in northwest Oregon resulted in 6 injuries, and they reported that it could hurt the supply of chips to the west coast. Local news reports that a portable natural gas boiler exploded, causing a dramatic fire. And local firefighters said that it was the largest blaze in that area that they'd seen in a decade. March 17th, Jonesboro, Arkansas. A Hot Pockets and frozen food Nestle plant was shut down after a fire broke out in the afternoon. Firemen battled it all night, but eventually abandoned the fight because of structural concern. March 18th, Plainfield, Indiana. I wanted to include this in here too. Like, I've included fertilizer factory stories as well because it all seems related. So this was a major fire at a Walmart distribution center, and inside were a variety of items: food, clothing, electronics, This was such a tremendous fire that burned for days, and no one knows what caused it. 200 firefighters worked together to put it out, and these were firefighters from 30 surrounding agencies that responded to this fire. March 24th, Belfast, Maine. It took firefighters from 10 surrounding communities to control the blaze that took over the McCrum potato processing plant. April 13th, Conway, New Hampshire. Firefighters battled a fire at East Conway Beef and Pork for 16 hours, managed to rescue the cattle even though the meat market was destroyed. April 19th, this is another one in Oregon at the headquarters of Azure Standard, the nation's premier independent distributor of organic and healthy food. It was destroyed by fire overnight. There were no injuries. The cause of the fire is unknown. April 20th, Leoti, Kansas. The Nutrient Agricultural Solutions fertilizer plant caught fire. No further details. April 21st, Covington, Georgia. A plane crashed near the General Mills plant, which, makes cereal. It's a global food company. There were no survivors of this plane crash. Not a lot of details are known about what happened. So that concludes the timeline. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts on this. I do have some lingering questions here, which led me to running a couple of searches to compare the number of plant fires, food plant fires, year to year to see if this past year had an unusual amount or not. Are we focusing on this just because people are tweeting it? Are we focused? It was on Tucker Carlson. This question was brought up, and I wanted to know year to year, what it looked like. How many food plants in the United States burned down year to year? Is this an anomaly? So in 2019, this is our sample year in the United States, it would appear that there was a major fire at Newlywed Foods Factory in Chicago in April, and one at a Kansas Tyson Foods beef plant in August. So 2 food plant fires that are coming up in the search for 2019. So let's compare 2019 to this past year, not counting the fertilizer fires and the Walmart distribution center fire. On our timeline we just went over, I have listed 18 incidents of food plants on fire from January 2021 to April 21st, 2022 in this video. So let's go back to what I said in the beginning. We've got all these factors at play to cause food shortages and increased prices. So are we witnessing total happenstance and coincidence, or is it intentional? Are they trying to take down our food supply? Are they trying to sabotage our supply chain? And by they, who do we mean? The enemy from within or an enemy of a foreign variety? Listen, I don't claim to...
Yeah, I can help you with that there, my dear. It is the elite, and the top elite is Esau Edom. You understand? And the agenda is to have a new world order agenda. You understand? That is the agenda. And they're going to bring the world to the knees. Then economy. Of course, this is gonna crash the economy. Rising prices, fuel prices, food prices. Everything going up, and businesses want to stay afloat. So they can pass it to the consumer. They can pass the price on to the consumer. Well, how much can the consumer take? You understand? So this is going to, then, like I said, with all these prices going up, the economy will crash. There's going to be riots. You know what I mean? There's going to be, let me get a preset in the book of 2nd Ezra, King James Version 1611. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings. Salakia. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it's going to be riots, seditions, people that are high in status, the kings and the princes, meaning your governors, the senators, etc. You understand? They're going to be targeted, right? They're going to be targeted. So like a minute. Hold on, they're coming, Shrika. Doing something here, coming here. Alright. Right, and that's gonna bring in martial law. You understand? It's a domino effect. Let me get another preset here. Right? Take that second Ezra 6 and 22. Yeah, second Ezra 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see? So this is what is going to happen, and you see the beginning stages of it.
All the answers, but I do see patterns. I can draw conclusions from data. And this whole thing really reminds me of Notre Dame. You know, the Notre Dame fire incident, which I covered on my channel years ago, when the church burned for 9 hours and no cause was ever specified. But in reality, hundreds of other French churches have been attacked for the past few years in deliberate attacks, but hadn't drawn any attention. And I mean, those were churches. Those were cultural factories, not food factories. But it seemed apparent to me that France needed to, identify who was attacking, what their motives were, and then act on that information. But to my knowledge, they didn't. And that inaction is just so loud. And that's the same right here. Same for these food plants. Belgium
That is the man there, boy.
is buying up all the farmland. The World Economic Forum's announcements for their 10-year outlook with the Great Reset saying we will all own nothing and be happy.
Hear that?
That will eat bugs. Black
Going back to what? Because they want total control. Total control.
Rock buying up all the real estate, so we have a nation of renters. World leaders coming out saying there will be food shortages as war continues. I mean, it would have to be a tremendous coincidence for all of this to be happening at once. For me, it's clear as day what's happening. But what do you think, internet friends? You know, I always look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and supporting my channel on Patreon. Bye!
Yeah. So,
I'm always interested to hear your thoughts on this. I do have some lingering questions here, which led me to running a couple of searches to compare the number of plant fires years ago when the church burned for 9 hours and no cause was ever specified. But in reality, hundreds of other French churches have been attacked for the past few years. But to my knowledge, they didn't. And that inaction is just so loud. And that's the same.
yeah, boy. Even the devil raised a smile, boy. 2 Ezra 15:14. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So Lord's gonna bring some serious judgment upon this earth. And the war in Ukraine, right? This is gonna lead to a third world war. Right? It's gonna lead to a third world war. See? Are you already paying higher for diesel, for groceries. You know, the company here that supplies the light, they're sending a petition to increase. They want to increase their electricity rates. It's going to crack. The bubble will burst. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Remember now thy Creator, you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, because these people here, they see him, but his people here, and then you got the elites of Moab, the elites of Ammon, Japheth, etc. I want you to know that them got the underground bunkers, the mountain retreats, underwater retreats, etc. here. Watch the movie 2012, man. It's 2012 with John Cusack. When they build a modern day ark, because they know what's about to happen. Watch it, man. Verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, that's when the senators, etc., and the strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All of these processing plants that get burned down by fire, I doubt majority of them back in operation. So those people probably find work elsewhere. Majority probably still on the breadline, waiting upon a check from the government. You understand? And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the doors of music shall be brought low. Yeah. So everything is just, it's going to be a domino effect, man. A domino effect. You understand? So yeah, how long you simple ones, you love simplicity. You know, we calling you back to come under the shadow of the Almighty, because the Lord said in Isaiah 65, and 17. I'm sorry, Isaiah so like here. Yeah, the Lord said, speaking through the prophet, Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. That's plain. And precept that I always like to refer back to is with Elijah, right? The Lord fed Daniel when he was in the lion's den. He fed Elijah. This is 1 Kings 17. And let me start at 1. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord God liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, according to my word. Yeah, so if there's not dew nor rain, meaning the crops can dry up, right? And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself. So what happened? And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan, and it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook. and I have commanded the ravens to feed the deer. So what's gonna happen? The Lord is gonna communicate with us. In the book of Job, right? Job 33, right? In a dream, in the vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, then he open up them the ears of instruction. If I ain't want thing, man, let me get it. I ain't want thing, let me get it. Job 33, 30. Job 33 and Salakia. Salakia, man. It's in Job. Again, his chapters mixed up. Job 33 and 16. Right? But let me start at 14. For the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in the vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. See that? So the elect is going to be good in the time of famine. You understand? It's 1 Kings 17 and 4. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I, meaning the Lord, have commanded the ravens to feed the deer. So ravens are birds, and they brought food to Elijah. So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. See? So the elect can be good. I gave a testimony a while back during the lockdown. 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Long story short, I came right across from a whole big box of bananas, man. You understand? Lord tell me start here in front of this box here. And I start. I wonder if I can find out there now. Big bunch of bananas, man. A whole big bunch of bananas, be. That was a beautiful, that was beautiful, man. That was so beautiful, boy. My fear was boosted right there, man. I don't know if I can find that video now. I don't know if I can find that now, boy, but beautiful for me, man. You know, the Lord of his elect. Let me end with that precept, man. You have care for him. Did that fear boy with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. Is that? I would have loved to find that video. Me give it that testimony, man. That was a beautiful moment for me as a baby. It's true, as a baby, it's true. You know what I mean? During the lockdown, unless it was to get the job or I just left, man. I just left the house. Is it here? Man, look at here, yeah.
I tell at the time when the grace and way, I think that was during lockdown. That was during the lockdown. The grace and way, right? So I He's saying he road, Betty road, you either deep over it, if it was enough. Swerve it? Yeah, but it's very straight to me, you'll stop there, boy. You stop waiting for the box, so I'm like, yo, you fucking this here? Movie box? Huge bunch of bananas. I said, what? One box of bananas? One big box of bananas. Nigga, I got watch out. I look over to Allah. You feel me? Yeah? You know, yeah? They said, him look for name, man. I see the name. I said, never. I said, no, boy, this for me, boy. Oh, I drop truck. First year. Come on, man. Go up there. You know what he said, me? I'm find this.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, yo. Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yavushai. No, Salakia, man. It ain't prematurely. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yavushai, Hashem Akakodah. Salakia, man. But Shalom. Cha.